What is all the hype about a Nord keyboard? Hey you guys, I am Melody from Tune Bucket Piano Lessons. I was raised in the humid South, so summer always seemed to be too hot to eat anything other than ice cream for 2 months. I spent the majority of my adult summers in a cozy Mississippi town that was nestled right next to the rushing Mississippi River. While I started playing piano at 7 and was given many opportunities to play at events, I never wanted to be known as the girl who played the piano. I wanted people to remember me as the girl who was real, because talent is only as good as the person, right? That's how I feel. Maybe this is why I never was into the newest gadgets. I don't believe it's wrong at all. I was just in a weird life season. It felt fake to want a new keyboard if I wasn't putting in my practice time into actually playing better. After all, the piano is not going to be an instant power pack that makes me sound like Kevin Howard or some amazing piano player, right? I actually have to be able to play the piano where it sounds good. So, back to summers in Mississippi. There's something exciting about playing for camp and conference events, which there seem to be a ton of this time. There's also something very scary because playing a rented keyboard that you're not familiar with is scary. Now, I pride myself in being a low maintenance girl until I realized when it came to keyboards, I wasn't. It made me come to grips with that so much of playing is muscle memory. So trying to get the feel of a new keyboard in a few days made me feel like I was more mistake prone. Fast forward to 2022, I played a Nord for the first time in a church service last year, and I was blown away. And I think I'm a hard sell. Yes, it has a lot of different buttons, but I found the Nord to be a lot easier to figure out than the old Korg workstations that were popular in the early 2000s. With Nord, what you see is what you get. So there's no hidden banks or a lot of hidden features that you have to try to figure out and go to menu and hit all these things to get to a different setting, okay? Everything you need is visible and labeled. And when I learned this, I was like, okay, maybe Nord is definitely my speed. Listen to this rich sound. The sound is just so beautiful. Now, if you're just starting to play, I wouldn't recommend this keyboard. Find something with a good piano sound that has weighted keys and a port where you can plug in a sustain pedal on the back. It can be new or used, and you can look on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace. When you're ready to take your playing to the next level or play in church, that's when I would tell you to go for a Nord. I played the same keyboard for 18 years before I actually got a Nord. It's going to be a financial investment, but I believe it's worth it, if you like Nords. But before you buy a Nord, here's what you need to do. Write down what you need in a keyboard, the sounds, the features, all of that. Because you want to figure out which Nord, sorry if that hit my microphone. You want to figure out which Nord fits you best, and you can find the best price by going to Guitar Center, Sweetwater, or B&H Photo is actually where I found this one. So now is the time for you to make a serious commitment to learn how to use the features on your keyboard, okay? YouTube is a great resource for any questions that you have. You've heard me say this before, but it is no good to have an amazing instrument if you don't know how to use it, or if you can't find sounds, or if you're turning it off and on to get that piano sound back. I've done that. Things that you should know about your Nord. Learn what every button does. Just punch, look at YouTube videos, experiment with what happens if you press that button. Learn how to get back to certain sounds if your keyboard goes haywire. Find out how to manually find your sound if random buttons get pressed. So really know your keyboard. Knowing your keyboard so well that you can fix it quickly instead of turning it off and back on is going to be your goal. Now, once you've learned the ins and outs of your piano, you'll want to find some settings that work for you. Okay, on my Nord, I mostly use a piano and pad sound, which is this. Either together or separately, you can turn the pad off and just have the piano. One of my favorite things to do is to layer the pad only on the bottom half of the keyboard like this. it's only on the bottom, but my right hand can play runs without having that sound at the top. I think it sounds better. It gives it a nice full sound. If you have strings on the top half of the keyboard, it tends to sound a little muddy. So my favorite Nord sounds are the Royal Grand 3D, which is what I'm playing, or I'll have a warm pad, which is sound 220. And you can layer those, like I said, and program it to where the pad only plays below middle C, and you want to look for the keyboard split button. Okay, and then you can save your favorite sounds to your program settings so you can recall them quickly. If you are just looking for someone to tell you which Nord to buy, I can tell you what I have. At my last music ministry position, I was tempted to buy a Nord 3 because I wanted a good keyboard. We had a keyboard that was giving us a lot of trouble until I realized that there were a lot of keyboard options. Okay, so a little research helped me to find a keyboard with features I knew we would actually use. You don't want to overbuy a keyboard. I can't stress that enough. So, which keyboard is right for you? If you are just using it for piano and some strings or pad sound, the Nord Piano 4 would be a good fit for you. If you like piano pads and organ, like this has organ drawbars on it, you can try the Nord Electro 6. It does only come in 73 keys. It doesn't come in 88. But I prefer the Nord Electro 6 because it has real drawbars instead of electric. If you want all the bells and whistles, go with the Nord 3. There's no shame or judgment there. But I know that you will enjoy having a Nord as much as I do. These rich tones make playing enjoyable and very relaxing. My favorite way to use the keyboard other than practice is to play during my time of devotion. So having a piano you enjoy playing will inspire you to play more. And that is a great key to becoming a better musician. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tune Bucket Piano Lessons. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook.